going to look at how to do a one-sample test of proportions in Stata using the Navajo diabetes example in the note set. The important parameters to note are that the null proportion is 0.083, the alternative is 0.12, the alpha significance level is 0.05, and we would like to achieve 80% power using a two-sided test. To conduct the calculation in Stata, you go to the Statistics menu, go to the Power and Sample Size tab, select Proportions since we're dealing with proportions, and we're going to do a score test comparing one proportion to a reference value. This is the large sample test that we learned in the notes. The null proportion is 0.083, the alternative is 0.12, and we're going to conduct a two-sided test. We make sure that our significance level matches the selected significance level, which is 0.05, and we choose 80% power. Hit submit, and we find that in this example we would need 485 people to achieve 80% power. You should note that if you're using Stata 13, there's actually three options for calculating power for a one-sample proportion test. You could use the binomial test comparing one proportion to a reference value. This calculates power for the exact test that we learned. We did not learn the walled test comparing one proportion to a reference value in this class, so make sure you don't use that option. For calculating power or sample size for a large sample test, you're always going to use this score test option when you're dealing with one proportion. So now we're going to return to this score test tab and compute power for a fixed sample size. Now we're going to assume that we fix the sample size to 400 people and examine how much power we have, again retaining the 0.05 significance level, the null proportion of 0.083, and the alternative of 0.12 using a two-sided test. And we find that if we only sampled 400 people, we would have about 73% power.